Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to episode 18.
Yes, this episode is going to be featuring just Bria. I'm going to be playing with Ruby, her cat.
She will love that.
I haven't really gotten to touch her or see her much or anything since we got here, so I cannot really help
myself. It'll be us three. Ruby's a big Muppet fan.
Yes, she sure is, yes. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes,
we appreciate
thank you so much. And if you're watching, we are still in this new location, trying it out.
Yeah,
let us know what you think if you like this new location.
Oh, that's a good idea. We'd love to hear from you about that. And certainly, as we were mentioning in our last episode, we'd love to hear from you and get your feedback on maybe there's some ideas that you have that we're not seeing, or you have an angle on this that we don't know.
Yeah.
We had brought up Muppet Babies as an example. We don't really have that in our kind of work here, so maybe we do an episode on the Muppet Babies. Who knows?
We would love to hear your guys' feedback and suggestions.
Yes, suggestions is the word I was trying to think of that I could not.
This show is ours and it's yours.
Oh,
so please let us know.
And make sure to subscribe and like the page. Keep up, share it with your friends. Yell at strangers on the side of the street about it.
Watch what the Muppet.
Yes.
I never really shout. So
that was so good.
And if you want to rate the podcast, that also really...
I really like that. I'm sorry, I really like that. That was a great response.
It also really helps with the algorithm suggesting it to other people who might enjoy the show, and that's what we're aiming for.
We have our contest going on that we want you to fill out the survey for and everything, so you'll be a part of that.
It's just a quick Google survey. It's totally private and everything, so that gets your name into the pirate hat is
the pirate hat, yes.
The surprise gift, and that's coming up 2 episodes, so be sure to fill that out so you can get your name in there.
Yeah, because we are on episode 18.
We are.
Wow.
Happy 18.
Happy
we can
18,
vote.
everybody. Finally can vote. We're old enough now. Yes, get a job. Would you get out of our basement? No.
What was your first job?
My first, technically my first job, I swept hair at our Aunt Nay, my Aunt Nay, and your great aunt. Is it a great aunt to you? How does that work for kids?
Is that your aunt?
It's my aunt.
My great aunt.
Yes, that's what I thought. Swept hair as she was a hairstylist, and swept hair there.
That is like the most Italian first job I've ever
Oh, it really
is.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, we were Italian.
Yes, we're very, very. It goes back to my favorite joke. One of my favorite jokes that I tell as a kid to make Nana laugh. You want to know how somebody's Italian? Just wait a minute, we'll tell you. Just wait. You don't have to. It's not hard.
Oh man, I almost spit on my coffee.
And I was trying to get it out quick so you could get the spit take. But really, I worked at a video rental store, Deja Vu Video here in over in Rapids.
That's such a cool name for a video store. It was the 90s. I can hear
it
in the title.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
What was your first job?
I was a program leader at the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, is that cool? That's a good gig.
Also,
tough gig. Tough job. How old were you when you did it?
I was 18.
Oh, man.
It was my summer after high school, and I had went to the Boys and Girls Club as a kid, so I was like, what a, path.
Perfect.
So, so I was a very quiet person. Not after that, John. You gotta stand your ground. If I could do a quick story. So, I was, this staff member that was, the quieter one, and they have to call you, Miss Bria or, Mr. James or something like that. Which I had to get used to that a little bit. So I'm running art room time, and it's really not supposed to be one person has more than 15 kids. I had 30 kids in this art room, and you don't get to plan the things you're gonna do. Yeah. So I look at the lesson plan, I'm like, great, we're painting. Awesome. 30 kids, and I am drowning by myself. I am still a child myself.
That can only end well.
Right. So I proceed with the lesson, and it's cleanup time, and the kids are gonna go for their recess break after this, and it's summer, so they have summer mind, and you can see the sunshine coming in through the window, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to get out there, but we have to clean up first. So there's 2 older boys, they're 5th grade, 6th grade, and I'm like, hey you guys, I'm gonna put you in charge of collecting the paintbrushes and rinsing them off, because they're older. I figured I can trust that kid. No. So I am like trying to clean up. I'm trying to help these younger kids like cleaning up the paint and teaching them how to do that. I turn over in sheer shock that these boys have shoved the paintbrushes up the faucets.
Oh man.
Water is going everywhere.
Oh man.
There is paint on the floor. No one is listening.
No.
It's like that moment in Community when Troy enters the house
Yes.
and everything is on fire and somebody's shot. So I go over to the lights and I hit them off and I say, everyone sit down. And everyone's looking at me and they sit down. I turn the water off. And I said, I'm very disappointed. And I said, we're going to do 5 minutes of silence. If somebody talks, the time starts over.
Nice.
Oh my God, it was hard for me.
Oh, I imagine.
And this little boy, this like sweet little boy came up and he was like, Miss Bria, can I go to the bathroom? And everyone's looking at me seeing if the time's going to start over because he asked that. And I was like, yes, Christian, you can go use the bathroom.
You immediately feel bad, don't you? Yeah, you immediately, yes. Yeah. Like, oh, what have I done?
He really didn't do anything. And, and it sucks because it's kind of like a collective punishment.
Yeah, you got to kind of do it that way.
Yeah, and then my boss and some, like, my other staff members were listening at the door without my knowledge. And my boss, like, that I'm still friends with today, like, peeps his head in and he was like, and I like came out there and they're all like huddled on the other side of the wall and they're like, that was awesome. How did you do that? And I was like, I guess I reached my limits.
Yes.
So,
you hit your wall.
I did. I hit my wall.
And your wall was a sink.
Yeah.
Your wall was
a sink. Yes. Those kids are honest though. I was setting up snack one time and this girl comes up to me and she was like, Miss Bria, do you have any kids? And I was like, nope, I'm 18. And she was like, well, time's a ticking, Miss Bria. Oh my God. I don't even have a serious boyfriend right now. I still think of that. One kid asked me if I was a vampire, and I said, no, but I'd love to be destroyed by whatever shred of evidence you think I'm a vampire by. And he was like, well, you just have sharp teeth. And he's talking about my canines. And I'm like,
sure.
Okay, I'm never going to smile at work again.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, so that was my first job.
One of my favorite things about kids is also one of the most scary things about them is how literal they are.
Yes.
And how there's no filter. There's no filter. I think you have funny hair. Like, you know, they will say whatever is on that
And it's completely appropriate to them.
Yes.
They're like, I saw it, I addressed it, here we are.
It does seem like that job did have some growing for you. You grew from that job.
I did. Yeah. Yep.
That's a fun first
I now have an assertive bone.
Yeah. And we've seen it. We've seen it here and there.
Thank you. Well, we didn't do last episode, we didn't say the Muppets in order.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I thought, as we're going along here, I don't know if we have to keep doing it or not. I think we might be able to save some time with not doing that and being able to focus more on other stuff.
Because it's getting hard.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking
maybe later on if I want to challenge myself, I'm like, hey, we haven't done this in a while.
I didn't want to shut the door on it completely, so maybe we'll come back to it. But we could go over the last couple that we did.
Yeah.
We had Muppets in Space and The Swedish Chef and Dr. Teeth.
Yes.
As our last couple of episodes.
Those were fun.
Yeah, all great episodes. And as we said in the last episode, it was fun to have a movie thrown in there.
Yeah.
We'll see if we have another one.
Yeah.
Because we still have a couple movies left.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay. I went and grabbed the quote this last time. So
here we go.
Now, hopefully, we get a fact because it's neck and neck right now.
Right. So we'll see what the odds are.
Yes.
All right, the Muppet Fact / quote hat. It is a fact.
Oh, cool.
So the
fact. That makes us even.
Did you know that Miss Piggy isn't Miss Piggy's full name? Her full name is Miss Piggy Lee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
That's
I love that for Miss Piggy.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Has a little bit of a Peggy Lee kind of feel to it. A little bit. I wonder if there's a nod to that there.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, they always it always seems fair to say that it was just because they did that so much in
there's so much thought that goes into everything. Everything is so cared for in this universe.
It would be more surprising if whoever came up with the name, you said that to them and they were shocked by that. Well, I never thought of that. You know, that would be more surprising than if they, oh yes, actually that was our intention the whole time or something.
I swear that happens to me all the time with my writing, like I have like alpha readers that we like read each other's work, and they'll say like, "Oh, I loved how you did this foreshadowing," and I'm like, yeah.
Right, yes, yeah. Exactly how I planned it.
Right, yeah. Just Stephen King over here. No, never.
That happens a lot in radio.
Yeah.
Where things, I have themes sometimes for our shows, but then there's more times than not where I don't have one, but there was one. There, a theme develops throughout
Isn't that funny how that happens?
It's weird, but it's so cool weird. It's such a great fun weird. I think too with that, with giving the characters last names, I don't think it's necessary, but I do think it brings it home again a little bit more. It makes them that much more real, that much more relatable.
It's fun.
Back to a lot of the themes we've talked about with these characters, with the essence of the Muppets.
It makes me imagine like Mama, like Miss Piggy, and she's like calling out, and she's like, "Miss Piggy Lee, you get over here right now!" Like we've all heard our middle names shouted by our mothers or. To that equivalent.
Oh yeah.
A scary, like shaking feeling.
The way you find out as a young person, not only your full name, you really remember it, but that you are in trouble is when all of your name is said. James John Maloff, like I just even saying that, I hear my mother in the back in my head. It just the Jewish guilt just kicks in.
Gotta love that Jewish guilt.
I immediately feel guilty for something. I don't even know what I did, but I'm gonna have to.
I'm sorry.
I gotta call her actually. I don't know why, but I need
Mom,
to.
I'm sorry for everything I've ever done in my life.
Yes. That's you fear your full name, your whole life. Even if there's like you're at the DMV, it's Sir James John Maloff, and you immediately feel, I'm so sorry, whatever I did. I
apologize for my
You
existence.
didn't do anything wrong. I didn't feel like I did.
Oh my God,
it's also how you learn your name. I think it's part of how you learn your name.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of giving all the characters a full name. But was it Kermit eat frog, or did Kermit have a full name?
I don't know. I was thinking that.
I was wondering, and now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm not sure that he does. Huh.
Yeah.
I have to check into that.
Yeah, for sure. I like that too, though. That was a fun little short fact.
That was a good one.
You get the honor of picking out of our Muppet/Muppet movie hat.
I am
Someday we're gonna get an actual drum in here.
We should, and at the same time, I don't know if we should. I don't know. I kind of like us doing
a little like drum, like a keyboard with sound effects.
Oh,
on
that'd be great. That would be fun. I accidentally grabbed two. You need that. I need that on the radio. I've been wanting that for years.
I use that like just audibly all
Can't
the time, and Matt looks over at me and he's like, "This is the person I married."
Yes.
Go ahead.
Real quick, it was this episode, because we do these back to back sometimes, and I have a lot going on.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about being Italian, weren't we?
Yes.
I'm wearing an Italian, like...
Oh, wow. Look at that. Perfect.
Just in case we didn't bring it home, make sure that you know.
I love that.
I will also be doing this in an Italian accent for the rest of the show. It's one of my favorite accents to do, so...
I can't do any accents to save my life.
Let's see who we got here, and oh my gosh, Rizzo the Rat.
No way! Oh my God, we were just talking about him.
That is such a perfect episode to episode ago. We just did Muppets in Space, where Rizzo is one of the main characters in the show, and he comes up and we talk about the origins of Rizzo, and now here we are talking about Rizzo.
He heard us.
He heard us. This has happened.
Oh my God.
This has happened a couple of times with doing this, where there are some where we get one, and then we get one completely out of left field the next time. But then this one where they just segue perfectly.
I'm just so happy right now.
Me too.
Because I miss him so much.
I do, a lot. And I feel like we're going to keep missing him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
We should maybe touch on that to start off
I would like to. Because I know Steve Whitmire, as we mentioned in the last episode, he was like the original voice actor for this, and so far the only voice actor.
Yeah.
And it's weird how, like, why hasn't anyone tried to... Because he can't have some kind of, like, copyright claim on him.
No, I don't think so.
Because Disney, like, owns everything. So there needs to be, like, a recasting.
Absolutely. If you're not going to bring him back and work that out, then you definitely need to bring the character back.
Yeah.
I wonder if, going back to, something that we were talking about with the guys, and even in the last pod, the rise of I keep doing this with his name, the prawn.
Pepe.
Pepe, thank you.
Yeah.
It's not a hard name to remember. I don't know why. But with Pepe, with the kind of want to introduce that character and bring that character up, Rizzo, one of those characters that kind of took a back seat.
Yeah.
Didn't have as many lines for Rizzo. much storyline for Rizzo, and then Rizzo kind of became a side background character, like a lot of the other characters that we've loved over the years, but don't get the spotlight nearly as much, which is a real shame.
It's so unfortunate because there's so much creative opportunity around this character. He is beloved by everybody. He's hilarious. He's like one of those characters that can say anything and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I haven't been able to let go of this slip of paper because I don't want to let it go.
Yeah, I don't blame you and I love you for it.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna let go.
Yeah, it's not easy, but you'll pick it up. You can pick it up later.
I will.
I think that unfortunately with that kind of thing, with there's probably more characters than not that we don't realize that have kind of gotten like. Every once in a while you'll see Sam the Eagle, but you don't see him much anymore. Where on the Muppet Show, he was kind of almost like the weekend update show, part of the show. He was.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was it.
Have you seen the Muppets Most Wanted yet?
No, that one that's on my
really want to watch it together because I'm obsessed with that movie.
We should.
Yeah,
we
that
should.
would be really fun.
Oh, that'd be great.
I even think Grandpa and Grandma would like it.
That's our plan. That's what we'll do.
Okay,
we'll watch it
awesome.
Together.
I will say that Sam gets quite the role in that movie.
Oh, good.
So it is nice that they bring him back. But something in that movie, I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. There's one very small clip that it head nods to characters being forgotten, and it's Rizzo, and Rizzo says something along the lines of beloved characters being forgotten, and he says, "Come on, Robin," and then Robin comes and he's and then they walk off together, and it's oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so Matt had to rewind it a few times so I could really embrace that part. But they have acknowledged it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was their way of kicking them out. I really hope not.
So I'll say this: even if that was their intention, it's a long life, and there's a lot of TV shows and movies they're going to be making, and they will recycle characters. They will bring them back.
Yeah.
That's not just them; that's everybody. The Simpsons have done it. South Park has done it. Every kind of creative outlet kind of does something like that eventually.
Sure.
If you're around long enough,
Yeah.
you have a chance to do that. And I don't think that these characters are gone for good.
Yeah.
I really genuinely believe that.
Really hope not.
And maybe that is a little bit of the hope in me about it, not being, for once, not being overly serious and being a little hopeful.
Yeah.
But I do think just as a creative, and let's be honest, it's a business, and there's a market. You need to be able to bring these characters back so that you can not only introduce them to new people, but maybe this audience didn't sell with, maybe this audience it will.
And he's one of those universal characters in the Muppet universe that everybody misses. Everyone misses so much.
And it's a Disney property now, and we at Disney, and with that, if you want to look for some silver linings, one thing that made me feel stomach a little bit better. Well, they're not gonna. I don't have to worry about the Muppets going out of business. I don't have to worry about the Muppets, going away completely.
Yeah.
They're, whether for better or worse, we're going to be having Muppet stuff for a long time.
Yeah,
They're going to get their money's worth out of it.
Yeah, and I do love Disney, but I just like Disney separated from the Muppets. I don't think that I want them crossing unless, like we mentioned in our collab episode with Muppets redoing classic Disney movies, that would be hilarious. But other than that, I just want them to stay separated.
I felt the same way about The Simpsons being owned by Disney, or Marvel being owned by Disney. It's not that I necessarily I'm not trashing Disney. I don't necessarily like creatively one kind of outlet, one umbrella over all of these things. I think that it's, again, we got the proof that the best creativity usually happens on its own, kind of without a bunch of people, a bunch of higher ups telling them what they should and shouldn't be doing and all this, just letting people work, just letting people, do the job that you hired them for.
Exactly, and it's kind of Disney has their own brand of humor, and so does the Muppets. So they don't really combine that well, and you don't want to have kind of in the Muppet Haunted or the Muppet Mansion. I always want to say Muppet Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You could kind of feel the Disney humor overlapsing the Muppet humor, and you could get those little moments of Muppety things, but it was very like rare throughout that special.
One of the things I've noticed with doing this pod with you and going back and watching stuff and kind of reminding myself some things, so when characters come up, I have more of a reference point, is seeing some of these newer movies and almost seeing like a clear line in the sand of when Disney bought the Muppets and seeing the change in that. I will say, I think that they've done a pretty good job of, it's not obvious, the change. I don't think it's clear as day or anything, but I think if you're a fan, I think if you are reading between the lines a little bit, it's pretty clear. And unfortunately, this is one of those byproducts of that, of a corporation taking this over. I don't think that happens with Steve and this character. If that doesn't happen, you may never even get Pepe if Disney doesn't take over and some of those things don't happen. Or at least the rise of Pepe, if you will, which is a Disney movie that is bound to be made. On the other end of this too, though, again, coming back to, well, we got to make more and more of this. We got to make more and more Muppet movies, more and more Muppet TV shows. What a great idea, and you can have this, Disney, having those three characters having a movie or a TV show or something.
I was going to say, Rizzo has extreme potential for, like, spin-off potential.
Put Gonzo, Rizzo, Pepe together, put them in a car, let them go. Let them solve mysteries or something or whatever. It'd be a great show. I'd watch that.
Things.
I think that, we're...
Ooh, I have an idea. They have like the whole concept of the show is based off of like a bucket list that like Gonzo has or something, and Rizzo and Pepe are like, let's cross it off. And every episode is something on his bucket list.
Oh, that's great.
Right? Wouldn't that be fun?
And it'd be Gonzo, so it'd be crazy stuff.
Exactly.
It would just be, I want to see the Grand Canyon. It's like, no, I want to jump the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, Disney, if you're interested, we need a seat in that writer's room.
Oh yeah, we got to put us in the writer's room. You want this done right, you put us in the writer's room. But otherwise, you can have it. You just bring us along.
Yeah. So, how would you describe Rizzo, like personality-wise?
I think of the New York, Chicago plumber. The kind of like,
Long Island,
very casual, laid back a bit, just kind of like, just taking life as it comes kind of thing, while also with a bit of an edge to him, a little bit of a roughness to them.
He's seen some stuff.
Yes, definitely. Rizzo's seen more than most Muppets, more than most, maybe more than most people. But that being said, too, has a heart, has some care to them. I think that if you've ever lived in a city or you've ever had to, even a city, rural town, whatever it is, the plumbing, the electronic community, the technicians, the people that work in that industry tend to have good hearts. While you may not see it or get a chance to see it because you're just interacting with them, they're just letting them in your house to work on the pipes or something, and you don't interact with them that much. But you notice this maybe if you, wow, that's going to be a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Well, we'll work with you, or something like that. Rizzo's got that kind of heart to him.
Yeah, very much. Rizzo's a real ride or die to me. Like, he is that best friend that's like, you did what? Where are we going to bury it?
Yep, exactly. Rizzo's not asking why it happened, but where are the shovels?
Exactly. How are we going to get out of this?
Yes.
He immediately makes it a we problem instead of a you problem.
Well said. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rizzo also has the look of a plumber. He's a little portly, the shirt's doesn't cover the belly completely.
Maybe why him and Gonzo became such good friends.
Yeah, that could be it. But this is the other thing I can't get past, and we can't be alone on this. This is such a cool character, such a likable character.
Yes.
You can't let a character like that go. It's too much.
He just has so many. It's almost like every moment he has on camera is a memorable one. Yeah. He's just one of those characters.
The way I feel this with him a little bit. I feel it more with Pepe, just where I hear that voice and it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Rizzo's right there.
Yes.
Right there with that.
Exactly. And he's also very family-oriented, too, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, going back to that, rough around the edges, seen some things, but still got a heart.
Yeah.
Still, nobody had Gonzo's back like him. Nobody, Kermit, did, but in the scenes that we get with him, you can tell that he does.
Rizzo and Gonzo are more of like a brothers sort of like dynamic.
Yeah, that's a good way.
And I love Rizzo's classic like red hat. It's so iconic.
His whole look.
And his jacket, and it'd be so much fun to dress up as him for Christmas, or go almost at Christmas.
Oh, I like that.
For Halloween.
Hey, I don't see why we can't dress up for Christmas and Halloween.
Let's make it a
all right?
family tradition.
Yes, I like that. I like the new Christmas tradition. We do dress up for that too. We have costumes for that too. Rizzo would be a fun costume.
It would be,
That's
not like too hard to do. Should we put Rizzo in a scenario?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think.
Because I.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, this Muppet hat for Rizzo the Rat. Okay. Ooh, it's a long one. If this Muppet was having a yard sale, would it be organized and fairly priced? And what is the craziest thing that they have for sale?
Oh gosh, that's good.
I can see him having a yard sale.
Oh yeah.
And I can see things being like a little overpriced because he's like, that belonged to my like great aunt Susie, and you
don't know how much that meant to her.
eBay.
You don't know how much that meant to her.
Yeah.
I could get a lot more on eBay with that. I could.
Yeah.
I love the idea. Immediately, as soon as you said, I'm sorry, yard sale. I was thinking of garage sale, but yard sale, yard sale, garage sale, what have you.
Same thing.
I immediately thought of Rizzo on a card table.
Yeah.
And just sitting there as people are coming in and being hey, how you doing? Thanks for being here. That person ain't gonna spend anything.
Right, or he's trying to get people to come by. He's like, hey, don't you need a pair of tube socks that aren't gonna fit you?
You look like a tube sock guy. Come on over here. Check out my tube socks.
These sunglasses are only $5.
Come on, $5, huh? You can't beat that.
I didn't even like put together that everything he owns is going to be so small. So when he said the card table, I was like, obviously. It's really funny visual.
I love that every customer that comes by this yard sale is a grown adult. None of these things will fit them.
Yeah.
But Rizzo is trying to convince them that they will.
Ooh, I can see him having 2 card tables that he can like jump between, and one of them is this like lemonade scheme he has going on.
Yeah.
And he's trying to like guilt people into buying some lemonade.
Interested in some lemonade?
It's a hot day.
It's a hot day.
This money's going towards a charity or something.
Gonzo and Pepe and I are trying to get a road trip going.
Right, we're trying to jumpstart our movie. Look at our Kickstarter.
Yeah. I love this.
So, what is the craziest thing that you think they have for sale? That Rizzo has for sale on his card table?
I like the idea, guys, because I can't get over the plumber part of this. Even though there's nothing necessarily about Rizzo's character that maybe makes him a plumber, but I don't know. But I like the idea of him just having just a random sink. There's some clothes, there's some old baseball cards, maybe a bike, and then a sink out of nowhere, just like a sink.
It's a good sink. Why don't you want it?
Right, $6. $6. You can't find a sink for $6 anywhere.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking of something that you mentioned. So I think he has on there a very rare in a case baseball card that he has no intention internally of letting go.
Yes.
But he's seeing if he can get some money for it.
I love that. Oh yes.
So he's like lighting it up so much, and people are like, yeah, maybe actually I would. He's like, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
You can't
Get out of here. How dare you? I can't put my finger on why, but that is so Rizzo. That is so Rizzo. For some reason, that really fits him.
Oh, I love that. I would stop at a Rizzo garage sale.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
If anything, to just try to become his friend a little bit.
Yeah. Just one more time. And I feel, I don't know if Rizzo would like me. I don't know, but I would try. I would try.
I would hope in my heart of hearts that he would
at
least
love
accept
you.
you.
He would love you.
Oh,
yes, you
that's
definitely.
nice.
I don't know. I think Rizzo and I might be those kind of, like a lot of the friends I've had in my life where my oldest friend, Chris, our first interaction was a fist fight. And ever since then, we haven't been able to get rid of each other. We've been best friends ever since.
The guys are so weird.
Very, very weird. Very.
Well, I'm glad you guys are both okay.
Well, so we were 6th grade. We're both from other schools.
Okay.
And the kids in school were telling us, hey, that kid's talking trash about you. And they were telling me the same thing. So the next recess...
these kids were just like coercing some kind of fight.
Yeah, the next recess we got, we're gonna fight, and we get up, and I came from a different background than Chris. I came from a fighting background, so I knew what I was doing. Chris did not, but he got my nose really good. And we fought, and then the end of the school day happens, and we're both walking home, and I'm walking on one side of the street, and he's walking on the other. And just walking the same path. Yeah. And I thought he was following me and he wanted to keep fighting. So I'm like, hey, what's your problem? He's like, I don't have a problem. I'm walking home. Like, well, me too.
Poor Chris.
Where do you live? Over here. Cool. Okay.
Aww.
And we just and we haven't stopped talking since. We've been friends ever since. Like,
That's a really funny like origin story for you guys' friendship.
it's a weird one. Yeah, guys are weird. Guys are weird. But that
at least it ended on like a wholesome note.
We you just don't know where things are going to start. I think I think of Rizzo like this a little bit, of that kind of, like, I think Rizzo and I would be that way, where we would maybe butt heads at first, but then eventually be friends.
Having like a heated argument over some kind of sports like statistic.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And
that is definitely
like,
what it would
one of
be.
you will not let it go, and the other one's like, oh, like.
I'll tell you, Michael Jordan, of course, was the best basketball player of all time. No, he wasn't. It's LeBron. I can definitely see this.
I can see it coming around. Like, hey, this guy's okay.
He's great for his era. He was the greatest of his era. You're right, Rizzo. He was the greatest. I can definitely see that happen.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for the compliment that you think Rizzo would like me.
I'm positive.
Very nice. Wait.
Yeah.
Rizzo moments.
Gosh, good one. Yeah, great Rizzo moments.
When I like say Rizzo, what are like some of the first like things that come into your
I don't know. I want to say it's the first time we meet Rizzo. I'm not 100%, but I'm positive that it's happened more than once. Rizzo shower curtain goes back, and Rizzo's like got a toothbrush or something, and is washing up. I cannot get it. It makes me laugh every time. There's something about it because they don't address it, but if you're paying attention, there's so many funny things about that scene.
Yeah.
The idea that a rat would wash itself, like take a shower.
Right,
that's
and I
funny.
see him being a very like health conscious and hygienic conscious like person.
Definitely one of those guys that has good intentions of being. Somebody, I'm going to work out today. Like 7:00 at night comes around. Tomorrow. But he has good intentions. He really did mean it when he said it. He just didn't go through with it.
Yeah.
I think of that those early scenes of Rizzo when you're first getting introduced to him, and certainly any of those scenes where you're seeing again how small he is, that he needs a toothbrush to wash himself, things like that. The shower cap, like,
iconic.
He has no hair, but he has a shower cap still.
Which attests to him like caring for his image and everything, and I love that.
And virtually anything him and Gonzo ever did together.
Yeah.
Like, they're all classic, funny. There's always a great throwaway line in there that you watch it again and you're like, oh, I didn't catch that the last time. That's pretty funny,
Exactly. I adore their dynamic in The Muppet Christmas Carol. It's just...
Well, I was trying to set you up a little bit when I was going to ask you what your favorite was, because I figured this would take some time. There's got to be the Christmas Carol. There's got to be a couple of references here.
Oh yeah, well, just the Christmas Carol alone. If that was the only time we saw Rizzo, like, it would be like, I don't want to say enough because I could never get enough of that character.
But I know what you mean.
But yeah, just so many good lines, and the light the lamp, not the rat.
Yes. Oh yes, I
love
about
that moment.
Yeah.
And when he's trying to like get over the fence in that movie, it's so funny, and he's got his like what are they, jelly beans or something?
I love when you see any Muppet's legs. I feel like you never get to see
so
them, and whenever you do, it's so great.
Legs movie.
They're always great. They're always, no matter who the Muppet is, what the Muppet character, they always have great legs.
Yes, so funny. And
it's a weird sentence, but yes, I'm standing by it. I'm standing with it.
And I do like the moments where like Gonzo gets to be kind of that hero for Rizzo, because sometimes I see Rizzo as more of like he's the man, like Rizzo's the man.
Yeah.
But it's nice when Gonzo gets to be that little protector of like Rizzo, and I think it's in the Muppet Christmas Carol when they're flying over London, and Rizzo's freaking out because he's a rat and he can't be off the ground. But Gonzo's like, "This is amazing!" So I like that moment. I really like in the Muppets in Space from our last episode, the montage of when they're in like the rat testing and everything, and he gets kind of that B plot of like being in the testing.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And you get to meet the other rats, and you get to see Rizzo like interact with other rats. He can hold his own, and I really liked seeing that little development and everything. It was really funny.
I hadn't thought about it until you said that, about the Muppets in Space thing, but...
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
With Gonzo, so Gonzo has so few times to kind of almost seem like, for lack of a better way to put it, the adult. Yeah. Like the responsible one. Kermit is that for him.
Yeah.
So with Rizzo, or even Pepe to a degree, when you see those interactions... it's almost like we get to see Gonzo learning from Kermit, and
I
Gonzo,
like that.
you know, growing as a character and I am way reading into this, but
hence the podcast we have made.
right, it is kind of a
Muppets.
wheelhouse. It's kinda, you know.
Yeah.
But no, you do get to see like, oh, all these years of Kermit really trying to look out for Gonzo and help him and give him insight, and you know, I never have thought of Gonzo or Kermit talking down to Gonzo.
No.
They're peers.
Yeah.
It's just more trying to, hey, I don't know if you see this side of it. I don't know if you're too close to it, so let me give you my perspective, and maybe you might see it. I think Gonzo gets to do that with Rizzo.
Yeah.
And it allows not only you to see that in Gonzo and that character to evolve, but Rizzo to be Rizzo and just a fun side character that's just all over the place.
Exactly. Yeah, I really like that insight, and I think that I don't care if we're like, it's canon for me.
Right.
I love that so much.
Okay. That is it.
Yeah.
We'll leave it.
And now that I think of it, I don't know if Muppets in Space is like the last time that we, aside from like the reboot TV show that they ABC put on.
Yeah.
I think that's the last time we really get to see Rizzo.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't in like the newer Muppet movies.
When he first popped up, I was immediately going through trying to think of all the references, and yeah, I think you're right. I think it is the last time.
Maybe that's why I do like that movie so much, is because it has a lot of concentrated Rizzo parts.
Oh yeah. And it's one of the few times. Well, it's a Gonzo movie.
Yeah.
You get a lot more Rizzo than you do with most any other.
Yeah.
I know on Christmas Carol a little bit, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. But you get to see like that character development and stuff.
That was one of the things with the haunted one that was disappointing to me. That we didn't have more Rizzo. I thought that going into it, I thought we were gonna get it. It seems so perfect for him and that character.
Yeah, it really would have, because he would have been like scared. He's like, oh, I don't like this, and
Yeah,
I don't mess with ghosts and things like that.
I think too, and again, being overly serious, but that's my wheelhouse.
And we love you, don't we, folks?
I think that there's never, almost zero times in life where we see rats in a positive light.
Yeah.
And rats throughout human history, for for good reason in many ways, the plagues.
I was just about to say plague. That's a big one.
There are certain reasons for that. They can be a dirty, carry disease, blah blah blah. They're also like incredibly intelligent animals, and they are oftentimes good pets.
That's why they do so much testing.
Yes.
Which I don't agree with.
No. I agree with you about not agreeing with that. But I like the idea of you getting to see a rat in maybe a more positive light. And all animals can be bad. All animals can be good. Just like, what does that remind us of? Oh yeah, human beings. So I think that's another good example for kids. Another good example of, and
that's beautiful.
I love when kids, like, their favorite animals are these obscure animals, or
I love that
too. It's a mouse, it's a rat, it's something else that maybe as an adult we're like, oh no, like, you don't want a rat as your favorite animal, kid. Well, no.
But ask them why.
Yes, and there are, again, decent rats. There are good rats out there and stuff. It's nice to kind of have that representation. And again, it may not seem like a big deal, and to some people out there hearing that, they may not think that that's silly, but as somebody who's multicultural and grew up and didn't see any of that, every bit of representation is important the farther along we go with creativity and the arts.
Even if it's something that's subconscious, that can, in the long run, that can just play out.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
I do have like an idea that maybe I'll like throw out here to see like what you think and what like our listeners think. But I was thinking, if we ever get to the point where we want to do a Patreon. Have you heard of Patreon before?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. And if like you guys would be interested in that, we can make extra content and stuff. We could add a hat to our lineup, and it will be the Patreon hat where you guys can submit your questions. So we'll have another hat to pull out of.
Let's do this. Yeah, that's awesome. I was trying to do a Rizzo there, but yeah, I like that.
I know, I cannot mimic Rizzo's voice. I really wish I could, because I would never stop talking. But let us know if you guys would be interested in that, because we would love to like put something on for that.
Yeah, and it just expand this even more and make this universe even more fun.
Definitely.
It's a good idea.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, you get to pick out of the would you hat.
Oh boy.
For our beloved Rizzo.
Yeah, I didn't really, I've been, even
I
though I've been
know.
reaching over here, I've been wanting to drag this out a little bit because I love this character and I know you do so much.
I know, and that's why I think it'd be fun to have another hat in here too, and with your guys, like, questions and scenarios.
I really think that we got to do that. I think
That would
that's
be
a
so
great
much
idea.
fun.
All right, for Rizzo, what situation is he being put in? Oh. Would you go into a haunted house with this Muppet?
Oh my god!
That's right there.
How? How?
There are no coincidences.
No.
Everything happened. This is for a reason.
That's
All these are lining up
crazy.
just as perfect as they were supposed to.
I'm in shock right now. That is so weird.
I know that this is part of the all of this is that it's all improv, and so I know that you guys know that coming into this. But
Yeah.
I have to stress again, this is improv.
We have no idea what's gonna happen when we hit record.
If we wanted to make this episode, hey, we should do an episode on Rizzo. Hey, we should put him in a situation. Hey, he should, like, all these things are what we would have done.
Yeah.
That's hilarious to
Oh
me.
my gosh, this is so wild.
This is going to be one of those ones where when weeks from now, when I'm listening to this again,
Yeah.
it's still not going to be registered completely.
No,
how
when
much
I'm
all this
editing
fell
it,
into
I'll be
line.
like, oh my god, that's still crazy.
This is perfect.
Oh, and
Oh,
I
this
can't
is
wait to
good.
do the AI thing for the visuals.
And I don't mean to go in a complete. Are you wearing your wedding shoes?
I am.
I thought so. I did. I wanted to touch on that before the last one. Oh, I love that.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Here's a hot tip for anybody who's gonna get married. Wear, instead of like wearing heels or something, buy slippers because you get to wear them afterwards, and it's just super comfortable throughout the day.
Any woman that has been married that I've said that you did that with, they all have had this kind of moment, like, oh, I wish I would have thought of that. Such a good idea.
They're so comfortable, and you guys bought them for me, which it makes me think of you guys every time I put them on.
Right on. Yeah, they look comfortable. They
Thank
look really
you.
comfortable. So, haunted house. Boy, I never thought about that. Well, of
Have
course,
you-
we were just talking about it.
Right. Have you been in like a haunted house before?
Quick embarrassing story.
Okay.
I didn't, I never really experienced a lot of that stuff. And, growing up where I did in the inner city and not having a lot and all that, we still celebrated Halloween. We still got to do things. It was just very poor. It was just very, a lot of the Kmart $5 costume with the mask that you couldn't breathe through, a lot of those things.
You get that condensation on the
Yes,
inside.
and you can't breathe.
I've been there.
There's also things like the first haunted house I experienced, which was a couple blocks down from where we were, and it was in a high rise. And
And how old were you? About?
I was 9, 10, 11, somewhere in between there.
Okay, so pretty young.
Yeah.
Cusp of like coming of age.
Yeah, but also way more serious than I ever should have been, and way more trying to be an adult than I should have been. All my friends were older and stuff, and I'd been in a number of fights by that point and everything. And I bring that up because we got into the haunted house, and we were only,
Oh no.
nobody had told me exactly what a haunted house was. Just that they
And you're a 10 or 11, like.
So I'm in there, and somebody, we're walking in, and I'm pretty sure it was somebody opening a apartment door or something and jumping out and scaring. I think it was no, that is what it was. It was somebody, they just put their head around and like did a jump scare, but they did that, and I immediately like whoa, and I pop them.
Oh no.
And it wasn't even like a great punch. And I think I got like the quarter of their head or something like that.
No.
But yeah, we got kicked out. We got kicked out. My friend Johnson and Jamal and I got kicked out. And they were so mad at me. They were so mad at me. Like, what's wrong with you? Why would you hit the guy? And the guy was mad at me. And I didn't know. I didn't know that was what happened. Nobody told me. I've been in haunted houses since, and everybody was fine. I didn't hurt anybody.
You had mittens on.
But I've also, like, they don't get me anymore. Like the jump scares happen. I'm just like,
Good job.
Yeah, it's like, I almost want to shake their hand. Like, hey, keep up the good work. You're not handling this right. You're supposed to be play along. I'm not a good haunted house person.
Okay.
I'm just
Noted.
let's just leave it at that. I could have said just that.
Are you more of a corn maze?
I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
That's why part of the reason I was bringing it up with you last year. I think that'd be really fun to do.
We should try to put that on the docket.
I do love Halloween though, and
Yes,
I love
yeah.
I love the idea of haunted houses, and I think that the concept is fun, and I would wholeheartedly do it.
You would be a good haunted house like actor.
That I would really like to do
Yeah,
too.
you'd be very good at that.
And if you told me, hey, Rizzo wants to go to the haunted house, but he doesn't want to do it alone, I would certainly go with Rizzo and you to
I
haunted
can
house.
see him on your
Yep,
shoulder.
I know him all the whole
You're
time.
like covering his eyes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, you want to see this part?
See, I told you everything's fine.
It's
not
peeking
real.
through a little bit, yeah.
You have a little bit of cheese in your pocket to like
Yes,
comfort him.
absolutely, yeah.
So I also have like a funny or embarrassing haunted house story. So I had never like really been to a haunted house, more like kiddie ones when I was little that aren't like really scary.
Yeah.
So my friends and I think we were just out of high school. So it's like the year after high school. I'm like 18 years old, and we drove to, I think it's Nina that does like that really big one, like the expensive one.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think it's in Nina or Nisita or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere over there. So we're waiting in line forever, and then we like get in there, and I like have never experienced this before. I know what to expect, but I've just never walked through one. And I quickly found out what my reaction is when like somebody scares me very suddenly. Someone came out and scared us, and I said, "Hi." So that was an interesting character development.
I love that. That's so you. Oh, that's good.
So it was funny, but also like, wow, not the best thing to learn about myself if I'm in a scary situation and I say hi to my attacker.
I do think, though, that you've just given the horror genre something they desperately need, a new idea. I love the, because for years it was the monster coming to chase the girl, she falls down, and all of a sudden is right there.
Yeah.
I love the idea of the same scenario, but
Yes.
the monster catches up and, hi!
They need
And you just throw the monster off completely.
Exactly.
How are you doing today?
Right. Why am I even attacking you? Let's unpack it. They need that anxious, people-pleasing character.
Yes. Oh, that's a beautiful
It
story.
was something. Thank you. So if Rizzo asked me, I would disclaim that story.
Yes, you almost feel you have.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, disclaimer, I might be weird in there. Just so you know.
It's funny that, say the three of us did this together, that the Muppet Rat would be the least, weird character in this scenario. That you and I would be the weird ones in this.
I have to hold your hands, and you have to cover my mouth.
Yes. Rizzo's the normal one.
Yeah, honestly, I think I would wear one of those parent things where they hold the baby in front of them, and I'd put Rizzo in there, and we'd walk. I think I would like that.
I don't know how that happened, but I was imagining that as you were saying, right as you were saying it, as the idea was coming to you, and that's what I was picturing in my head, was one of baby Bjorn's kind of, but Rizzo facing, not facing you, right?
Yeah, he's facing out. Oh my god.
With the little legs again.
The little legs. That's such a funny visual. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
Oh, I don't know how to end this one.
I know, this is too much fun. I wish that hat was still here.
This is part one. Beyond the two, we'll have 4 parts.
We're going to run it through.
We're just going to keep going with this. We're going to make more hats just so we can keep putting Rizzo in situations.
Exactly.
We just get desperate towards the end.
Yeah.
Rizzo, what's Rizzo's favorite color? Just to keep it going.
What is Rizzo's favorite color?
Now that we're great, now it came up.
I can't leave it empty-handed. I think, his hat is red. So it could be red.
So I think with that right off the top, I think I overthought it, and I was trying to come up with a crazy color. You're right. I think it's simple. I think it's red. I
mean, yeah, it could be more complex though.
Like a magenta or something. Maybe a crimson.
Say that. Yeah.
But some version of red, I think, is a fair bet for him on that. Okay. Favorite snack. Favorite, not a favorite meal, favorite snack. He's sitting back, him and Gonzo are sitting back, they're watching some TV at night, the end of the day.
The first thing I thought of is popcorn, but they each have their own bowls, and Rizzo is just sitting in the popcorn bowl.
Is it, I like that. I love the image of that. Oh, I love the image of that. I almost skated past that. Oh, yeah, that's a great image. Yeah. Am I being stereotypical thinking Cheez-Its?
No, I could see him taking one. He's like, "This is the best invention ever."
Why did you do this sooner?
Right, yeah. And he gets to try all the different kinds of Cheez-Its.
Yeah. I can see him as I'm a big fan of the really I think they toast them. The toasted,
Yeah.
those ones.
I was just about to say, Matt and I are huge like fiends for the grooves.
Oh, those are
The
good too.
Cheez-It
Are you a
grooves?
Cheez-It fan? Are you right
I
on,
am.
man,
Which
me
is,
too.
it's ironic because I don't like cheese and I never have. And call me out, whatever. I'm from Wisconsin. And
Yeah, that does seem a little, kind of fighting your own self, but okay.
yeah, ever since I was little, I just like have been against cheese and I didn't like it. And I always, to this day, I like deface my pizza when I get.
Really?
You didn't know? I guess we have to eat pizza.
No, we gotta have pizza together.
Yeah.
We have to have pizza together now.
But yeah, in school, everyone always wanted to have my cheese, and now Matt gets my cheese, and maybe it's a pillar of our relationship that he gets my extra cheese.
Sometimes those things add up.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I do get her cheese.
Right? Yeah, I'll hang on for the cheese.
You guys have
Cheese
so
worth
many things way beyond that. Would be kind of funny though.
It would be, yeah. I do think not liking cheese kind of saved me a little bit though, like GI wise, because later on I found out I was lactose intolerant.
Right.
So there's that.
Which I'm not sure if that's me to blame or not, because your youngest sister has that too.
Yeah,
isn't
I think
that way?
I think I have it on both sides, so it was just
Okay.
bound to
So
happen.
you were doomed on that one.
Yeah.
There's just nothing right about a Wisconsinite being lactose intolerant. It just ain't right.
Yeah, it's the cross I carry. It's
You do it bravely.
bravely. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you all.
for listening to our rants and our beloved Rizzo. I just
Yeah.
don't want to let him go.
I don't
It's so
either.
fun.
I don't either. We're gonna end the episode, but we're gonna
For
keep
your
talking.
guys' sake,
Yeah,
yeah.
We're gonna keep going.
We'll
though.
be here until the sun sets.
Yep, we do appreciate you guys so much. Be sure to fill out the little survey there so you can get
Yes.
your name in the running for our great prizes that we have coming up on our
Yes.
20th episode, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, very soon.
We also encourage you to share the show with people.
Please do.
On social media, it's a real help to us and a real help to our community to share this, to spread this show and bring more and more people to it.
Yeah, there's like so much we can do with posting stuff, but the internet. Sometimes you're just shouting into a void.
Yeah.
So we would love to reach more Muppet heads and create kind of this family community. I've already loved so many of the interactions we've had with YouTube comments and Instagram and soon to be TikTok and Twitter. So yeah.
The more people we get involved in the show, the better it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
And the greater our
The
family
more the
becomes.
merrier.
Yeah. And the more likely we are going to find that dang rainbow connection, because it is somewhere, people. And the more of us come together, I said like that. The more of us come together, the more we'll have a likelihood of finding it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you guys so much, and
we'll see you later. They can't do it, Rizzo. We'll see you later, everybody.
bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.